Hey, what's up everybody? This is Mr. 008 here, and today I have for you a video covering a sneak peek of the next Bloons Tower Defense 6 update. So in version 32.0, we will be seeing a new game mode, Contested Territory, which is presumably inspired from the Bloons Monkey City counterpart of this game mode. That's where Contested Territory first originated from. And speaking of BMC, I am hoping for Ninja Kiwi to eventually make a BMC 2. So if anyone from Ninja Kiwi is watching this, please take this request and forward it to the team for me, because I loved BMC 1, and I'm hoping that there's one that is based off of BTD 6 as well. But let's get back to the sneak peek here. So Contested Territory in BTD 6 is going to work as follows. There will be 6 teams and 90 players per instance, unlimited instances. So I'm guessing an instance has to do with like the map, like how many tiles on this map end up captured or something similar to that. Maybe an instance ends and a new one begins once all tiles are captured, or like once no tiles change positions on the map for a given period of time. So it looks like the event will last quite a while, like a week and a half, maybe even 2 weeks, judging by the fact that it says event ends in 10 days in the top right. Maybe it'll be different though, because that is from the developer build, obviously, since the update is not out to the general player base yet. So it looks like because it says 6 teams and 90 players, that means there will be 15 players per team. That's my guess as to what that means. Although maybe it'll be 540 players overall. But I'm guessing by the wording that it's 15 players per team. I do not have any insider information on this, just a disclaimer. I don't want anybody taking anything I say other than what is literally typed out in this thread as a given. So just a quick disclaimer from me, because I don't want somebody to say, you said we're going to get blah blah blah, and whatever blah 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 is does not come to the game. So just letting you know that apart from what is typed in, everything else will be speculation. So let's see, 150 plus unique tiles with randomly generated custom rule sets for Contested Territory within 3 tile categories. Powers and insta-monkeys are disabled entirely. That I like. I like that it is play to win and not pay to win. So I'm happy to see that. Regular mode, balanced rewards and leaderboard scoring. Knowledge is enabled on those tiles. Monkey knowledge, of course. Banner tiles, no monkey knowledge, and that is more focused on leaderboard scoring. Relic tiles enable special relic knowledge for the team that has the tile, but it is less focused on leaderboard scoring. So for healthy tension, and regular knowledge is disabled on those tiles. So I'm guessing by that wording as well that relic knowledge will be active no matter which tile you are on. Like no matter which tile you are competing for, as long as your team is in possession of the tile with that relic knowledge. That's what I would presume, although maybe banner tiles do not permit even relic knowledge. I don't know. But I'm hoping that relic knowledge can be used on all tiles so that there's more of an incentive to pursue those tiles and not just the other types. 4 victory conditions, each with granular contestable scores, so they'll presumably be weighted in certain ways so that it's not all about who gets like first place in one of these categories. So let's see. Timed, that is race style. So I'm guessing that means you'll be able to send out multiple balloon rounds at one time. So you should probably focus more on like high popping power towers in those instances, like ice monkeys to start off, and then wall of fire into a plutonium reactor, that kind of thing. So those are some of the towers that I've seen most popularly used in race game modes, at least early on in the game. But of course you need Moab popping power later on. So there's also boss timed modes for 1 or 2 tiers. Least cash used to beat the challenge that you need to claim the tile, and least upgrade tiers used, which those were added in the last update, least cash and least tiers specifically, as challenge conditions. So I'm guessing that Ninja Kiwi was using those to experiment with this before rolling out contested territory in its entirety. So that'll be interesting. I'm interested to see how things are going to play out with that. But it is kind of cool. I'm glad that it's not being made in such a way that Team A captures a tile and then Team B beats the same thing and automatically gets the tile regardless of what someone from Team B did to get the tile, and then it just keeps going back and forth and it ends in the hands of whoever is the last to beat it. I'm glad that the game mode is not going to work like that, because that would be about who can play the most rather than who is the best at playing, which reminds me when I used to play Clash of Clans of the how the leaderboards worked before Operation Blue Skies, as the devs called it, was rolled out in Legend League, reforming the matchmaking process so that everybody gets the same number of attacks per day instead of seeing who can stay online the longest and wait for a match first. Granted, that would not be the exact same thing in contested territory if the scenario I described just now was the case, but I'm glad that that is not going to be the case, because it should be play well to win, not pay to win or play more time than anyone else to win. So timers degrade each hour and return to neutral ownership after 24 hours. So I'm guessing there will be a timer attached to each tile, and something changes every hour, or maybe not. It just says how many hours until maybe the Bloons retake the territory, as was said in contested territory in BMC. So there are limited moves per day. Moves are deducted only when captures or new high scores are posted. That I like. I do like that, because it is because I've had experiences in BTD6 and in Bloons games all the way back to Bloons Tower Defense 4 for that matter, where I would lose over something stupid. A balloon would just leak by, and then I'd lose the game. And because I didn't hit the pause button fast enough, or because I overestimated my defense, and I would have to start all the way over in BTD4 no matter what, and I would have to waste a bunch of monkey money for like a cash and life injection and stuff like that in BTD 5 and 6. That, I absolutely hate dealing with that, so I'm glad that in the event that that does happen, it won't be used as a move of yours if that does happen. What I am interested in, though, is, are the moves per day based on like for each player or for each team, because the dynamics of the game would be quite different depending on those things. So I'm eager to like see how that plays out. So let's take a look. Team crowdsourced prioritization of relic knowledges and choice of limited powers. The same options are available to all teams. Okay. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. I think I understand what that means. I'm not certain though. So I'm guessing you'll be able to choose certain powers of a select few, like overall. Like if there were 10 powers to choose from, then you could pick 2 or 3 of them, say. Almost as if how you can bring certain powers with you in Odyssey mode. So maybe that's what that means, or maybe it's something different. And there are global and instance leaderboards for team and individual performance, with all new team-based rewards and cosmetics. Alright, sounds cool. Yeah, I like that. So that if your team does well, but you don't do so well, you can still get something. Just like if you do well, but your team as a whole does not do that well, you still get something from it. So it's not entirely based on the entire team or on each player. So I'm a fan of that. And also in the event that you have a bad instance, but you have a good rest of the season, you can make up for that in the overall global standings. So that's nice. And in this same update, there will be an Engineer Paragon coming to the game. That will be the 5th Paragon coming to the game after, of course, the Dart Monkey, Boomerang, Ninja, and the Buccaneer. So, that's going to be added to the game. I'm interested to see how that will work out, if its sentries will be any stronger than the Paragon sentries, or as they're known nowadays, the champion sentries. To see like if those sentries will be any stronger. I'm hoping they are. So it will be nice to see that. And also Adora will be getting another skin, the Voidora skin, to go along with her regular skin and her Joan of Arc skin. And a new intermediate map called Quarry will be added to the game. So it sounds cool, it sounds like a nice update, and I am looking forward to it. And I do like that Ninja Kiwi has started telling the player base what they're working on earlier on, while still giving sneak peeks at the time of release or close to the time of release as well. So I'm happy about that, and it's nice to have that available. So getting back to the Engineer Paragon, I'm wondering, because a lot of people that I've seen in like YouTube comment sections and otherwise have been speculating that the Engineer Paragon may be able to buff other Paragons with its Ultra Boost ability. And it would be interesting to see how that would work. And yeah, like, how would it work? Would it be like heavily limited because you only buff 1 Paragon per game? Or would it be a little bit more like the regular Ultra Boost in terms of buffing however many towers you want? You just need to wait for a cooldown in between buffs. So that'll be interesting to see. Also, might these buffs be unique in the way of Lich not being able to steal them? That, I think it's a possibility that will be the case, but I'm not betting on it, especially because Vortex can stun all of your towers, including your paragons. They can't be buffed, but they can be disabled by a boss bloon. So, I was a little surprised when I first saw that in the game. Some other people are saying that Vortex is balanced as it is, but I don't know how I feel about that. The idea of paragons, even the strongest towers in the game, ones that can't be moved, buffed, that can't be sacrificed or anything else like that. The strongest possible towers in the game still being able to be stunned by boss bloons, even though you can't use your own towers to buff them. So, we'll see how that plays out. And for the bottom path, the bloon traps, I'm expecting that these bloon traps will probably be larger, or maybe they'll be the same size as the XXXL traps, but they will be dropped more frequently, or maybe 2 to 3 or even 4 at once, and then a new batch of traps will be placed on the track once the pre-existing ones are used up and you collect the cash from them. So it will be interesting to see how that works. And as for if they'll be able to insta-kill bad balloons, I would not bet on that. It's a possibility because it's a Paragon, but I would not bet on that, especially because the anti-Moab Kylies from the Glaive Dominus that push Moab class balloons backwards do not work on bads. They damage them and set them on fire, but they do not push them back. They do not repel them. So I'm guessing that the insta-kill will not work on bads for the traps from the Engineer Paragon. And for those of you who are thinking of the Navarch of the Seas insta-killing bads, well, the difference between that and the Glaive Dominus is that the Glaive Dominus has the anti-Moab Kylies, which are passive. They are automatically triggered. But the Navarch, that ability is active. You have to manually trigger it. And it can only be used twice per round. So there would have to be some heavy balancing in that regard so that you can't get to like round 10,000 or even round 1,000 just by spamming in paragons and praying in just by spraying and praying, so to speak, in single player mode, in free play mode. So we'll have to see how all that plays out. Before I wrap up this video, I'm going to look at some of the comments in this thread and see what I can find here. So the top comment says, "Let's play. How many inactive and low-level players will be put on your team?" That will be interesting, and I'm hoping that Ninja Kiwi has a way. Maybe there will be more than 15 players, like on a list for a given team, but once 15 players start claiming tiles, the rest will be shifted to another team in a separate instance, so to speak. That would be pretty nice so that you're not shut out from having a record of inactivity, but you won't be harmed by inactive players. You won't have your performance hindered or weakened on your team by inactive players just staying there and not doing anything. And low-level players, that's another thing. To, like, skill needs to be balanced out, and also monkey knowledge, of course, because even though only regular tiles allow regular monkey knowledge, that is still something that could, like, be a significant factor for balancing between teams so that you don't have, like, a bunch of veteran players on one team and then some level 50 something to level 100 and something players on another team, like in the same instance, especially. But like even in separate instances, like that could still cause problems, like as far as balance and fairness are concerned. So I'm interested to see how Ninja Kiwi balances things out with that. So somebody else said that ISUB has confirmed that there would be ranking off of individual contribution in reference to, I'm not sure there was anything they could do about it, to be honest, because you can't really predict that people are going to be inactive. Hopefully there's some sort of ranking system based off individual contribution that will help limit this in the long term. So I have not heard ISUB confirm that. I do watch his videos on YouTube, but I do not follow him on Twitch because I don't use Twitch in general. I'm just not a fan of the Twitch platform. So if there is ranking off of individual contribution, that would be great. So we'll see what comes of that, and hopefully there's something to keep things fair in that regard. So let's see what else we have. Seeing that teams are created, will people be able to make their own teams with friends and others? Yeah, that's something that is not confirmed and also has not been denied officially, and I have no idea whether that's going to be the case, but I'm hoping that teams are created automatically on the back end, but at the same time balanced out. I think that that would be the fairest system, rather than just allowing a bunch of expert players who know each other to band together and dominate in every contested territory event. So let's see. A day or two ago, Ninja Kiwi released a mode that's nearly identical to this on Bloons Pop. That mode has you teaming with a group of 10 maximum of your choosing, okay, with the same relic system and limited plays per day. They could balance out teams with low or inactive player count by giving more plays to the rest of that team. It's very safe to say that most of this system in Bloons Pop will be implemented in BTD6. That could be the case, especially because both are Bloons games. They're by the same developer, but more than that, they're both Bloons games. It would be kind of odd to see something from Tower Keepers or SAS Zombie Assault 4, for example, recycled into BTD6 or Battles 2 or something else like that. And speaking of Battles 2, I'm thinking of starting a Let's Play series on that on the channel soon, so stay tuned for that. So, yeah, it would be nice to see a system that balances out low-level and inactive players, but at the same time, I'm not a big fan of the idea of getting to choose your own group, like who's in your group, rather than it being done automatically on the back end. I feel like that would be better for balancing purposes if it was done automatically by a matchmaking algorithm instituted by Ninja Kiwi. So let's see what else there is. Let's see. Yeah, that's the thing. Playing with your friends is nice, but it could cause balance issues. So we'll have to see how things play out. I just don't think it would be best for the game. It's just my personal opinion, but if somebody else has a different opinion on that, feel free to let me know and discuss in the comments of this video, because that would be would be nice to just talk about different ideas for the game and get a discussion going in that regard. Um, so, someone said multiplayer random teams would be a bad idea. Um, and supposedly a lot of people are saying this, but um, yeah, random teams entirely would be bad because of low level players in some instances as well as inactivity. But I think that Ninja Kiwi has the capabilities to balance things out in that regard, and hopefully we'll see something come of that. Um, Things don't always turn out perfect when they're initially released. We saw how the Battles 2 XP system turned out. How you used to be able to, how you used to not get any upgrades for free, and the XP system was like insanely expensive and grindy, and it was like pay to win almost. And there was no universal XP, but now there is universal XP, more XP per game. It's less VIP dependent, and you get up to tier 2 upgrades for free as soon as you unlock any given tower. So that's in a better place now. So I expect that if contested territory in BTD6 is not in a great place right off the bat, that it will be a couple updates down the line. So that's going to wrap it up for today's video, you guys. I hope you have all enjoyed. Make sure, if you have enjoyed, to leave a like and subscribe for more interesting content. I'd like to see some comments in this video about this update. Let me know your thoughts on the update, as well as if you will be more motivated to play BTD6 because of this update, and what other games you'd like to see on the channel. Would you like to see some Battles 2 or some other games, whether it be Bloons games or non-Bloons games? Just let me know in the comments down below. And just a reminder, a video will be coming pretty soon on why I quit Clash of Clans. There are plenty of reasons I would like to discuss in that video, some that relate to the game and others that relate more to the company that develops the game. So stay tuned for that as well. Once again, thank you all for watching, and I will talk to you all again in the next video. Peace out.